おい何してんねんお前おい何してんねんっておいおいバカおい何してんねんおい車まくんなおい車まくんなおい
Absolutely gut-wrenching video to watch. Like that is every, car lover, car enthusiast's worst nightmare to have your car stolen, let alone be standing there unable to do anything as you watch your car being driven away. The raw emotion in the video, no doubt, is what made it kind of go viral in the car community. But that's also what got that car back. That's what saved the car and got it home. It got such notoriety so quick. The thieves wanted nothing to do with it, so they just ditched it. Hey y'all, Steve here, doing something a little bit different this time. I guess like a studio video. So this incident, as terrible as it is, it put like a new light again on the idea of theft happening in Japan, and more so like in the car community. I received like multiple messages after seeing this footage and talk to like friends and stuff like that about like, do you know anything about, car theft and stuff like that? And like most people, I kind of lived in this bubble of, well, Japan's safe, nobody steals in Japan. This video jarringly reaffirms that like that's clearly not the case. Like we all have to be vigilant. So what spurred me to make this video is I found this website kind of on accident within like a week or so of the RX-7 theft happening. It put numbers to the fact that cars are being stolen. Like here's how many cars are being stolen. Let's hop over to the computer now, kind of run through it together. So the website is jidoshatonan.com. Like it's the Car Theft Information Bureau is kind of how you translate it. And what it is, it's a reporting system for if your car goes stolen, you can put it into this website and it's going to make a post for like a blog style post showing information, your pictures and stuff like that. And so you'll see in Spencer's video, like a lot of that stuff was pulled from this website, and that's how people were matching up like, yo, that part is from this car because this is like a good database of that. But you can see on the right side here, you have, your dates, and it's just in descending order. You click on show more or whatever, and it'll go through and show more. But anyway, so you can see like here on July 23rd, just like a week ago, there was in Osaka, there was a 1997 Civic EK9 stolen. We have like a new Toyota 86 GT86 FRS. In Chiba Prefecture, you have a Land Cruiser Prado, which is like a new SUV. S15 spec as a Spec S Kai, so that's maybe like a SR modified or a turbo swapped car or something like that. And then FD on the 16th. Anyway, you can see like within a week, we're talking like S15, the Civic above, and then FD, and then Impreza, another S15, R32 GTR, another FD. This is all within a week or so. So that's kind of alarming. Like that is a lot. I went through everything back until January 1st of 2021 just to try and put some numbers to what's going on. And in total, just reported to the site, again, this is not the police, information database of the country. This is just reported to the site. There was 145 reported stolen cars. Of those 145, you had 25 in July alone, 12 in June, 14 in May, 22 in April, 20 in March, 29 in February, 23 in January. So that's like 145 total. So of those 145 cars, 68 of them are the 90s cars that we all know and love. 10 of those were S chassis, 7 RX-7 FD or FC, 5 Supras, mainly JZA 80s, an Evo, 24 Skylines, most of which of course are GTRs, 6 JZXs, 10 Subaru Imprezas of different varieties, 10 Hondas like Integras, the DC5, DC2 I think was on there, and S2K. So basically half are the 90s, cars that we grew up loving and now we can finally afford to own, and now we can finally import. It's no secret, like values are through the roof right now. So they're an easy target, simple electronics, maybe not the greatest theft deterrent added after the fact because people just get comfortable and don't think about it, whatever the case may be. And then this is where it gets surprising. There were 6 Priuses and then 31 new high-end Lexus Toyota SUVs. The highest stolen car on the list were these new Toyotas, which you would think with the sophisticated electronics and stuff like that, they would just be much more difficult to steal. I've got another article that kind of lends some information to that. And so here's an article from the Asahi Shinbun, the Asahi newspaper, on July 6th, so very recent. Nearly 20% of Lexus LX SUVs stolen in Aichi Prefecture. So Aichi Prefecture is where Nagoya is. So I just picked out some key points here. This is the alarming one. The current LX model, the Lexus LX model, is priced at more than 10 million yen, which is about $90,000. So we're talking an expensive car, and 20% of those are being stolen. 1 in 5 of those things are getting jacked. In many cases, stolen luxury cars are quickly disassembled for export and then reassembled for sale. So they're just ripping the things apart, chucking them in a container, and then rebuilding them when they get to their destination. You would think with the new cars and highly developed and complicated electronics and all that stuff, you would think they would be harder to steal. And here's the real tricky one. A fairly new auto theft technique dubbed CAN Invader in Japan exploits the controller area network, or the CAN bus, and is particularly difficult to prevent. So they can freaking hack your CAN bus system. Super modern, complex electronics, boop, hacked it, no big deal, stole your $90,000 car. Then this is kind of where you start to see the bigger pattern of how this stuff happens. So it says parts are also targeted. Cars and bicycles have often been targeted by thieves for parts, particularly license plates, which can be used in other crimes. The prefectural police report 1,179 cases of parts theft were reported in 2020, including of those 1,179, 674 stolen license plates. So they're basically, most of the thefts for parts, half of them or more, are just license plates. Those license plates then, car theft rings can place these license plates on stolen vehicles for transport to avoid detection by security cameras or pursuit by police. And in some cases, they repeatedly replace license plates during transport. Or, get this is mind-blowing, or they cut up license plates and merge the parts to create a fake one. Unbelievable. So you just, take your number 1052, chop it up over here, and now you got like a 4137, like, unbelievable. And then, stolen plates have become a key tool for criminals, police said. So that article, purely talking about Aichi Prefecture and the new Lexus LXs, like, there's stuff that expands out to the larger picture as a whole. But let's get back to the cars that we know and love. So we have one more article, this time from Best Car Web, or Best Car Magazine. This is like the website version of the magazine. On July 31st, they published this article written by Kumiko Kato. Again, this is Google translated, so might be some weird English in there. But the point is, he goes on to explain kind of what like this JDM mania is through this section. Basically all the cars we love going up in price. He gets into the 25-year rule and stuff like that. And then this is the last year of the J-Spec Auto Sports stuff that I was talking about earlier. He mentions all of that, saying like, clearly these are the stolen cars. Here's the parts showing up in another country. Like, this is a problem. And so he goes on to say that there was a time when the theft decreased sharply due to the corona disaster for about half a year. Around June 2020, the number of old car thefts registered with the Car Theft Information Bureau, that was that Jidosha Tonan website I was showing you, has decreased significantly. The reasons are as follows. Number one, the activity of the foreign thief group became quiet due to the corona disaster. This is Google Translate. I couldn't enter the country, meaning like they could not enter the country, right, because of restrictions. And then during that same period, the container ship to foreign countries stopped due to the corona damage. And he says he confirmed with the shipping company that only the container to the United States departed with almost no effect. And then another factor that may have contributed to the reduction in thefts is noting that maybe in regard to like the J-Spec Auto stuff, around that time of May 2020, maybe people just kind of were laying low after that, not trying to draw attention to themselves. So continuing page 2 of the article, he then talks about dismantling yards and says most cars are brought to dismantling workshops or yards within a day or two. Once a car's stolen, the license plates are ditched. They put on some other stolen license plates like we were talking about from the other article. And then they're brought to a yard. But at that time, the route of the stolen place to the yard is, in advance they're checking out which route to go, so that way they can avoid a route that has the in system. And this in system, if you've been to Japan and gone on a drive on the highway or whatever, you generally see these cameras on the road, and so it's a automatic license plate recognition camera system that's, like I said, basically on all the expressways mainly, and some of the larger local roads. So yeah, generally chassis number is removed from the vehicle, and then it's all disassembled into pieces, loaded in containers, and then taken overseas illegally. But in 2020, there were many cases where it was sold in Japan, such as, you know, like Yahoo auctions. He's saying due to the Corona disaster. So once everything halted, they couldn't get it out of the country. They began just breaking it down and selling it in country as well. And there was a case in fall of 2020. There was a A80 Supra stolen in Aichi Prefecture, and it was seen driving in Chiba Prefecture the next day, and then the parts from it were found on Yahoo auctions shortly thereafter. So parts are staying in Japan as well. And the article then goes on. This is a Japanese article, so it's geared, you know, towards these Japanese owners who are trying to protect their, I don't want to say their investments, because they weren't. They were these cars that they love, and they want to protect this, like the Japanese word is aisha, you know, like literally like love car. So they want to protect these cars that they love, you know, and they're just by circumstance becoming more valuable. So yeah, what to do to prevent being stolen: get vehicle insurance, specific policies for vehicles over 25 years old, so you're going to get like an appropriate insured value from your car. Number two is have a solid, trusted security system installed by also a very trusted installer. Number three, storage location. Ideally, the garage has a shutter, like a garage door, so you know it is effective to at least cover the garage so that it cannot be seen. This is an interesting point. It is also important not to be captured by a Google Street View camera. And I know me, probably a lot of you, if you know, just plunk down Google Maps Street View somewhere, sometimes you're like, whoa, there's a, you know, a Sylvia, or there's a GTR, and some of those times, like that's someone's home parking or their monthly parking lot. In Japan, like most people don't have parking at home if they live in an urban area, so renting a parking space at a lot maybe down the street, you know, it's not necessarily right outside your front door, and so it's very common that you are not within eyesight of your car. So Google Street View can be helpful in a lot of cases, but also, you know, harmful in this case. And car covers are extremely popular here. Like, that's kind of one of my favorite games, is just like, hey, what's under the car cover, you know, like judging by the shape, what kind of car is that? Because generally it's something cool, and you know the owner actually loves it, not because I want to steal it. Number four, use multiple security goods, or use multiple security methods, like multiple handle locks like the club, and then some like key lock systems, kill switches, tire locks, just to kind of buy yourself some more time in the case it's going to be stolen. Thieves are going to get it if they know what they're doing, but you know, anything to buy yourself time, or just to deter the real novice thieves. Number five, pay attention to the area around the car. Thieves always come to do a preliminary inspection in advance, so be wary if you see suspicious cars or someone taking pictures of the surroundings. So this one really hits home to me, and I think it's relevant to most like car enthusiasts, as this situation might be becoming more of a problem. It's something we as fellow enthusiasts should be like more aware of and a little more conscious of. I love, you know, like finding cars on the street and just like, hey, that's cool, take a picture or whatever. But, you know, thinking about this situation now, like just recently, I've started to like kind of question how I look doing that. If I'm taking a picture of a car, like I'm smiling while I'm doing it, and I'm not trying to hide while I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like, make sure it's very clear, like,
yo, I'm a huge nerd and I love these cars.
Versus just like, let me just like low-key get a picture of this car right here. Be aware of that. Like, us as enthusiasts, like that's our job, is exercise good judgment. I guess to wrap this up, like the number six, if there's a number six bullet point, it would be like, what could you do as a fellow enthusiast? Most important, like just share it. If you see something stolen, like especially like the J-Spec case, like parts were noted that they're stolen, it blew up, got shared. The RX-7 that was stolen, luckily that owner was on social media, share, it spread around really quick. All of a sudden there's way too much attention on it, so they just ditched it. Like, we have to use social media to our advantage, and like really support each other. If something goes stolen, like just reshare it. Alright, that's all I got this time. Hopefully the next video will be a little more upbeat, like a little more fun topic. But anyway, leave a comment below with maybe your advice for best theft deterrent devices, options, methods, and that'll help somebody out in the future, hopefully. And if you like this style content, hit the like button, and I will try my best to do more. Again, maybe a little more upbeat next time. Anyway, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace! If you want to get caught up on, you know, what you could call maybe the backstory here, check out Steve Avell's channel. He did a video, and then Your Car Bro, Spencer, did a video as well. I'll put those in the description below if you want to go back and check those out.